That's Local Government Law Group. We are 8 experienced attorneys who specialize only in providing local government law advice, solely to Oregon's local governments. We proudly uphold the highest professional and ethical standards in our representation of your city as well as the rest of our clients. All of our attorneys are well versed in local government law. We can all answer questions with regard to public meetings, public records, code drafting, code enforcement, ethics, and we provide counsel trainings. I'm Carrie. It's Carolyn on the letterhead, and I just want to make sure that everybody knows that's me. I happen to be the senior member of LGLG. In addition to local government advice, I specialize in public contracting, land use and development, government mergers and acquisitions, and public-private infrastructure financing, which is becoming more and more common and prevalent these days in Oregon. Ross Williamson, who you're familiar with, overlaps in many of my areas of practice, and also specializes in risk analysis.
Thank you, and yeah, my name is Mark Wolf, and as Carrie was talking about herself and Ross Williamson, another attorney is Christy Munson with 18 years of municipal law experience. Her focus is more on the employment and labor law side of things, as well as government ethics, trainings, again, legislative advocacy and lobbying. Next on our list is Diana Moffitt with 19 years of municipal law experience. Her focus is more on labor law, which includes union contract negotiations. That includes the police union, fire unions, public work unions, general unit unions. That involves mediation and arbitrations, interest arbitrations, as well as termination and other disciplinary arbitrations, as well as employment relations boards hearings. Next on our list is myself, Mark Wolf. I do a lot of labor law as well, which again includes union contract negotiations, mediations, arbitrations. I also have some experience in the telecommunications and cable franchise negotiations. So that's one thing that's a little bit unique to myself and Christy Munson.
We're doing a little tag team here, so just to try to keep it interesting. We have a couple new additions to our firm who you haven't been familiar with. We're proud to announce that Yin Schmidt, previously with Harang Long, has joined our firm as of the beginning of this month. He is preeminent, renowned statewide for municipal defense litigation. He specializes in civil rights law, employment law, eminent domain and inverse condemnation. So that is just a huge boon for us that he was willing to come and join us right when Mark's dad retired. It was basically kind of one went out one door and one came in the other door. Dan Lawler is our new associate. We just hired him. He comes to us from Eugene Planning. He specializes in land use, obviously, law, and but also is working with all of us on intergovernmental agreements, public contracting, employment and labor law. And then we have Rebecca Dorman. She was a staff attorney with the League of Oregon Cities. She's a contract attorney now. She has been in-house with us. She solely works with LGLG, but she's on contract right now. She also specializes in community development and urban renewal.
So that's who we are, and then next on our presentation is who we serve. So I guess first off, we have over 100 years of combined experience in the municipal law, which is pretty unique. And so who we serve, we serve over 100 fire and other special districts, as well as other government-related entities throughout the state. 25 of which of those are cities. So we are the city attorney for 25 cities throughout the state. We also counsel on special projects for other numerous cities throughout the state and other districts. Some of these are, at least from my experience, from what I do, is again, we might not be the city attorney, but I will help with mediations and arbitrations and things like that. So how we serve, our law firm only serves governments. With that and with our experience, we're able to answer questions and complete projects quickly and efficiently, as we've seen, or somebody in our firm has seen, and done most everything. Internally, we try to route whatever the problem or the project is to the proper attorney with the proper experience. We mostly communicate with our clients through phone and email, but oftentimes there's a need arises where a face-to-face meeting is warranted. Oftentimes we'll travel to the city, or sometimes our clients will visit us in our office. The city can choose a point person in our law firm, and some cities choose to do that. Other cities, with familiarity with us, don't necessarily have a point person as staff is familiar with. I've got an employment problem, I need to call this attorney, or I have a land use problem, I need to call that attorney. So we can have a point person, oftentimes we don't have a point person.
And our experience is just that as familiarity grows, people, staff, and any authorized counselor or mayor just knows who to call in our firm, and that saves you time and money. So in addition to being able to be quick and efficient on responding to city questions, because we have our standard forms, we have answered nearly every question. Our municipal focus also allows us to provide for free updates on case law and legislation that affects your city, and also to provide at a flat fee various packets that prove really helpful to our entities, such as public contracting packets that include public contracting rules, resolutions that you can adopt. We don't have to do anything to them. We tailor them to your city, but it's far less expensive for you than having it uniquely initially generated for your entity. Ours is an open door policy. If there are problems, we encourage you to call us. If there's service problems, if there are billing problems, we want to hear about it directly. And our experience is that problems can be resolved really expediently as long as there's that direct communication. We stay out of local politics. We respond only to the questions that are provided to us. We don't interject ourselves into city business. And when we're provided a project by an authorized staff member or counselor or mayor, that is the only time that you actually start incurring legal fees.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, I didn't know we had a timeline.
Yeah.
Okay. So, in this manner, we've served Oakridge for over 20 years. I was a much younger attorney when I was here for the initial interview in 1998. It has been a pleasure to serve for over 20 years since that date. We've seen many city administrators come and go, 8 to be exact, including 2 interims. We're happy to answer any questions you have. I apologize, I did not realize that there was a time limit, and I would have reserved time for questions if you have any.
Time for questions.
Perfect.
So we're doing great.
Okay, wonderful. We do know you have a number of fine attorneys to hear from. We appreciate their firms. We refer conflicts to them. And hopefully none of them will do yo-yo tricks and upstage us even further.
Upstage you.
Thanks.
Okay. So counselors, having heard this presentation, I'll leave it to you to direct any questions that you would like to ask. We'd like to keep it like at 5 minutes or so, but please continue. Raise your hands, and we'll do exactly. Bobby?
So as you respond to inquiries, how do you track that so you're not having duplicate responses to maybe getting multiple inquiries from the city? But so how do you track duplicates and making sure that people aren't window shopping also?
Right, well, that's a good question, and it does come up in various cities. So what we tend to do is we have monthly check-ins where we talk about what are the outstanding issues that each of us are working on, what are the kind of overlapping issues that more than one of us may be advising on. But the second that we get a call, and it isn't a client that I'm usually working with, I say, have you been working with somebody else in our firm? Okay, well, you're gonna be best served by continuing to work with that individual, because you don't wanna get me up to speed on the facts and the background. That's gonna cost you money. And, but if ultimately, somebody wants to work with 2 members of our firm, that's fine. We will regularly confer between attorneys, though, to make sure that everybody has all of the same facts.
You have another question, Bobby?
So when you provide responses to questions, do you provide any supporting documents to support that response, like reference laws or anything in your response that can show us where your opinion came from?
That is always the goal. We want you to understand the advice we're giving. What we want to do is provide you plain language advice and cite to the sources of the basis for our opinions.
Okay.
We range, of course, sometimes responses are more informal emails up through more formal letters. And anything that we're doing can be tailored to suit whatever the requester's need is. That was another point I was gonna make on that. Mark, did you have anything?
No, I think you covered it, yeah.
Oh, Danielle.
Okay.
Sorry. So we can ask questions.
Yes, absolutely can.
So, I'm assuming you guys have law clerks in your office?
It varies, actually. Mark was a law clerk long ago. Currently, we don't have a need for a law clerk. Oh, I'm sorry, his dad is now our law clerk. So he's available to us. So currently, we don't. And let me finish your question.
So, really what I'm looking for in it is, I know a lot of law clerks will work for different judges. And who those judges were and kind of what experience any law clerks you have bring to your firm.
Mark.
So I happen to have been a law clerk for a judge at the Lane County Circuit Court. Oftentimes, at least at the Lane County Circuit Court, the job is a contract for 1 year after, typically right after law school. So I was a law clerk, and then after that, I got on with the local government law group.
I have to say that his connection to the court still serve us.
As you know, you are the firm that council has already decided to terminate. So I am curious why you've decided to apply for the same job and what would be different this time around from a couple weeks ago.
I have to say that is not news that we were provided with. What we understood is that there was a request for proposals. Our clients regularly survey the market and we encourage that to go out, see who else provides similar services, compare costs, see who is best suited to serve your needs. Had I known that we were literally terminated, I'd question why we were invited here. But I think that regardless, our duty, we care deeply about cities. We care deeply about this city. And I believe that it is our duty to continue to at least try to provide those services to any entity and to let you know what we offer, and then let it be your choice. And if, in fact, you do move on to another firm, and I've said great firms here, we're going to continue providing these services, and we will be here.
I have one more question. So do you guys read over the minutes for the last few months? Because it's been a topic that's been brought up multiple times throughout the council.
Yeah, that is one of the, so different cities ask us to do different things. Regularly from the cities that I permanently serve, I get the packet, I review the packet, I advise the day of the meeting on various things that I anticipate might come up during the meeting, or things that need to be changed, or the way that a resolution reads that needs to be changed. And in doing so, I read the minutes. So I did read the minutes for the last meeting this morning. And I did hear different counselors express different opinions. So since there hasn't been a majority of the quorum terminate the contract, we consider that we're still your attorneys. So I think that's a fair answer.
I'd just like to apologize. All these councilors up here, most of them are new elected, and so the firm that was here, and we as councilors needed to see everybody, and that's why you're here. So I thank you for your time, and all of us will look at the whole situation.
I have to tell you, it's a joy, and we appreciate the opportunity, particularly the yo-yo part.
Are there any other questions from council at all? I have just a couple questions, so, and I'm back here. Can you explain to council who a city attorney actually represents?
Holy moly, how did I miss that? Thank you. Yes, of course, we represent the entity. And while there are individuals authorized to incur attorney-client fees, city attorney fees, and can pose questions to us, whenever we answer a question, it is with the entity's interests at heart. We regularly have to remind staff and individual officials who call us, I am not advising you. I don't have your interests at heart. You know, I don't have your individual special interests in my mind as I'm advising the entity. And we expect the entity to be informed of our legal advice. Anything to add to that, Mark?
No, I think that covers it. The city is the entity, it's not one.
It is something that we have to remind individuals, and we do tell our councils, because it can look, it can be uncomfortable, it can be misunderstood, since only certain individuals are authorized to incur attorney fees for the city. So I'm so pleased that you asked that question. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. So I have another one. So have you ever been wrong? And if you have, can you provide a frame of reference as to what you do if you determine that, oh, hey, that was wrong, and how do you do it?
We can't hear you
Apologize.
back here.
I like that.
Yeah, so the first thing I do is the second I know I've made a mistake, I'm like, my mistake, I am so sorry. Here, I either, here's the reason that this was wrong, these were the facts I was basing it on, or I just wasn't aware of this portion of the law. And then, obviously I'm not gonna charge you for that piece, and how to remedy moving forward.
Okay. And how do you handle annual fee schedule increases? Do you do that on a rolling basis? How does that happen?
So we evaluate on an annual basis where our fees are, how long it's been since we raised our fees. We recently, I think last year was the first time we raised fees in 4 years.
I've only been here for 3, so.
Okay. So he hadn't gone through that process
He
before.
isn't help that.
Right. And then if we do decide to raise fees, we try to inform you of that during budget season,
Okay.
so that then you can incorporate it into the next year's budget. And you should be able to evaluate fairly.
Are there any other questions from council? Thank you so much for coming, and thank you for
You're
your
very welcome.
presentation. I really appreciate it. And